Woo-hoo.
And let me say, that is a 10 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Damn, Jesus Christ.
Stop.
Would
No. Okay.
Build up.
No,
All right,
no,
time
no,
for the
no.
Avatar segment.
We're getting into this. Okay.
I finished it.
You both finished it.
It came out last week.
Yeah. So me and Danny both finished the new one, obviously, and then
I've only watched the first episode, so
Okay.
I guess maybe I should kind of just get let's talk about the first episode first, and you guys can kind of expound from there.
Right.
I, not seeing anything else, I thought the first episode was pretty alright.
yes.
So visually, I think it looks fantastic.
Yes.
I think the bending so far, from what I've seen, looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The fire bending, they fire bending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fire. Sometimes it's a little funny because I'm like, shouldn't you be scorched right now? But fine, whatever. Fire bounced off you. There's a couple scenes like that. I was like, kind of funky, but plot. I'm not that person gonna nitpick about the elements of a show. Plot is plot. I'm not sold on Aang.
Bro,
right
he sounds
now.
like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'm not sold
No,
on
guys,
Aang.
I'm Aang.
He's
Zuko,
12.
Zuko, love the sassy energy.
Yes.
Love Zuko.
Yo.
Not crazy about Iroh's rendition. He's not bad, and maybe there's more I still need to see, but this rendition of Iroh is not. It doesn't feel as snarky, I guess, as the regular version. This one feels a little bit more
Happy-go-lucky.
happy-go-lucky, but has a cadence of sass in the end.
Mm-hmm. It's giving Santa Claus. You know?
Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but like I said, first episode only. They was ODing on telling the app. So much exposition. They said the theme song like twice. It was kind of crazy.
No, actually, but I rewatched the first episode after, and that is how they do it. In the first episode, they do it differently. They tell the story, and then later on is the actual one. So no, they did that correctly.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe it just felt like a lot there, like dialogue wise. I'm not sure. I was fine with it, honestly. It didn't seem too egregious. I can see where there might be a downward slope. But Aang is my biggest problem. Listen, I know we saying fuck Sokka, but like he is a good Sokka so far.
He looks.
He has a long ass head.
He's what I would want Sokka to look like.
Personality-wise, yes. He just actually needs to not be white.
Yeah, all of that. That aside, like in my head, I'm like he's at least giving Sokka energy so far.
Yes, he gives 1,000% Sokka energy. That I give him.
I think so, and also the first episode thoughts. Katara could be a little bit more. More spicy.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
agree.
doesn't-
A little more
That
spicy.
doesn't
This Katara seems a little too.
One note.
I don't want to say one note yet. Just very
Disney
yes,
Channel?
Very
She's
sweet, very
sweet.
safe. Very just trying to keep the peace type of character.
Yeah.
Where I'm kind of used to Katara being a little bit more rebellious,
Attitude.
and, like sass and back talk. Like it ain't really there. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I thought it was a great first episode. I think it did everything it needed to do to at least hook somebody in. But from there. You guys got it from there, bro. I don't really. You guys hash it out for the.
Okay,
I'll
so
just
what's
say-
out of 10? What is your rate?
5.5.
5.5 out of 10?
Slightly above average, and that's because of the graphics.
Okay. I think I give it a 7. Like, it really was not as bad as everyone said it would be. Everyone kind of gave me really low expectations. Like, I was like, like M. Night Shyamalan, I was at like, that's a 2, maybe.
I agree.
And so I was like, all right, is this new show about to be a 3? Like, that's where I was coming from, in that perspective.
Which is good to like temper your expectations to a certain level.
Yeah.
Like that,
so I was like, okay. So I think coming into it like that.
This
already,
is basically your One Piece.
yeah,
Like adaptation.
Yeah.
Fire. Like she loves Avatar. Like we kind of had that feeling before the One Piece Netflix live action. This is kind of like your One Piece situation. Because like when's the last live action you had to like really look forward to of adaptation?
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
It's funny that you say that about Zuko, because a lot of the things that I'm seeing online, and even some of the people that I know in my life, Zuko was one of the biggest complaints. And might I say, he was my favorite character.
He was fantastic.
People out here bitching, oh, he's so childish, he's always throwing tantrums. And I'm like,
that was him the whole first season.
The whole first and maybe half of the second.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what show you guys
bro
watch.
took mad long to get introspective.
Absolutely.
Dude, Zuko, I think the kid.
You know how far you got to go to get to That's Rough, Buddy?
Yeah. That character development.
There's mad character development between.
I think
That's
people
rough,
forget
buddy.
it, really.
No, the kid who did Zuko, outstanding. I have zero complaints.
Yeah.
To follow up on what you said about Iroh, I don't like this guy. There is one scene, and I'm just spoiler for you.
That's
Like,
fine.
I don't think you care.
Yeah.
Kemi, I don't know if you remember. There's one scene where Iroh and Zuko. No, it's just Iroh's. Iroh and Zuko got separated at this point. And Iroh's being taken away by Earth Kingdom soldiers.
Yeah.
Right? And one of this Earth Kingdom soldier is talking heavy to Iroh, like, oh, you're the Dragon of the West. You attacked this place. You fucking are responsible for all those deaths because you guys are colonizers. You're the reason why my brother died. My brother, who was helping support my brothers and sisters, and blah, 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 blah. You're the reason he's dead. And he's, the whole time, Iroh's mean mugging this guy. Like, his eyes are bulging out of his head, like, ready to fight this guy any minute. And then even, like, at the conclusion of it, when, like, they break free, Iroh just says some, like, fucking snarky fortune cookie line at him after he just whooped his ass and then, like, walks away.
Which, by the way, that guy that did that rendition, like, he was the first, like, guy that was like, oh, you acted. Like, everyone else has just been, like...
The Soldier?
Yeah. Everyone else has just been, like, mediocre, like, acting skills, like, whatever. Like, it's...
I've heard that, like, maybe just the writing, it just seems mediocre. Maybe.
I wouldn't even say it's the writing, it's sometimes the delivery, you know? Like...
See, I don't want to shit on Aang. And I don't want to shit on the fact that he sounds like Alvin the Chipmunk and that I hate everything that comes out of his mouth. Because it's not his fault. He's a kid.
Yeah.
He needs direction. The writing needed to be better because the dialogue is piss. The dialogue's piss.
It's not that bad. You forget the thing is, you forget how cheesy the original was, you know? Because I went back and I started watching the first 2 episodes again. I was like, oh, this was very cheesy. So,
but there's some je ne sais quoi to it.
I think we had a higher tolerance though because it's animated.
And we were
You're
kids.
willing to accept more cheese because it's animated automatically. And when it's human beings on screen, we do it a little more cringe factor.
Exactly.
I would need you to watch these scenes back to back because that kid who plays, again, it's not his fault. He's a kid. He needed a better acting coach. 0 charisma. 0. Did he make you laugh a single time?
I thought he was...
Because Aang, in my opinion, is fucking hysterical. And I'm sorry, I expected him to do that thing where he spins the 2 rocks at least one time.
Okay, I know. I was kind of hoping on that.
It kills me when he does that. Because he thinks it's the coolest thing ever.
But he did do the air ball thing and then slammed into the rock.
It didn't look that good.
I liked it. I was like, oh, they did that from the theme song. That's fire.
Can I just say in episode 1, 2, this kid's just flying about in the air.
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
What happened?
Like, you didn't even have to do that. Like, you didn't have
Where's your glider?
to do that. Just give him the fucking glider.
And they gave it to him later. So it was just, I don't know why you started it.
It made it it was just too much to see at one time. Yeah. Especially because, like, if you're going to be a nerd about it, right? We save motherfuckers who can fly free will for special motherfuckers who can fly free will. We don't we're not just handing that shit out. I know Aang is that dude, but like,
yeah, they were trying to gas him up when he said that.
Like, he ain't Zahir, my guy. Like, what is he doing? So
that's his name, Zahir.
Yeah. So I was just like, what? I was like, and it just looked funny on screen.
Yeah.
And just give him the fucking glider. You would have had way easier time. Probably, I don't know CGI stuff that well, but I feel like that would have been easier to do. I don't know.
Oh, speaking of CGI, so one of the things for the actual like effects throughout the things. So one of my friends who's like he's a video editor. Sorry. And he was describing, he's like, I think the problem that I'm having is the lighting. Because those and like shows like Mandalorian, they're using not necessarily all CGI, but they're using like screens instead of green screen, you know, in actual filming. So a lot of the problem that made the background look really bright is that they weren't lighting it properly. So while the lights, like, if the back is like having a screen and everything, they didn't light like the front as much in like the proper way to like match, you know, the scene. So it looks a little off in some cases.
Yeah, like the saturation a little bit is a little interesting to look at.
Yeah. So I think that was just one of the tiny things. But for the most part, I don't know. I don't think it was as bad. I think Aang was okay.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. No.
His voice is annoying. All his lines are terrible. Honestly, all he does is go on about, I was gone for so long, and now I have to be the avatar, because there are people who are out there, and I need to help them, because that's what I'm here to do.
I mean...
There's no playfulness. He's not a kid. He sounds like I'm talking to AI. Yeah. AI wrote his lines.
Well, they did kind of say beforehand that he was going to be a little more locked in instead of...
Yeah. That was a mistake. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 is making Iroh a fucking asshole. I don't like the guy who played Iroh.
I will say, given that I didn't see it all, I could see why and I'm always trying to think of people who aren't fans as a viewer and not the fans. I can see how quickly people will get tired of seeing him be childish, and that goes to me, like, because I know how annoyed I get with other series when there's like a kid involved. What was it? Mandalorian? Was it Obi-Wan? It was Obi-Wan with the young Leia was in it.
Yeah,
and the whole time pissing me off on screen because just acting like a child, and because I don't like kids, I was just like over it. So I could see maybe why you would go a little bit away from that direction, like to make him be childish the whole way through, because it might just really just put off people and be a way more jarring.
But there was none of it. There was
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I didn't see everything else.
He did when he crashed into the rock like he did in the theme song. He made me laugh. There was a couple little things here and there, but
you're not wrong about Katara too in your observation in the first episode.
I agree.
Super let down.
So
super let down.
Again, it's not her fault. More one note than anything.
No, the thing is she's fine as Katara when she's happy. But she doesn't have her attitude. Like, she doesn't have the spice to it. Like, when Katara is supposed to have a lot of angry lines, like, Sokka, you're so, like, ridiculous, and you're a jerk, and da-da-da-da. Yeah, and it's just, she doesn't have, I don't know, she just doesn't have that same, like, attitude. Like, when she was, like, fighting with people, she just seems, like, too nice. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was kind of, but I don't know, she's really pretty. She was fun. Like I said, happy parts were happy, but the other parts were, I don't know, she could work on it.
I also kind of have no complaints about the guy who did Sokka, honestly. Like,
attitude-wise and acting?
No notes.
He did Sokka really well. I'll give him that.
Good. Yeah.
I just wish the Water Tribe, most of them were not white. That's my biggest complaint on that. Like, a lot of them were way too light-skinned. Grand, though, she looked perfect. She looked straight out the freaking cartoon show. I was like, oh, no, you look great. So that was good.
Appa looked cool.
Appa and Momo I liked.
Yeah. How'd y'all feel about, I guess, the storytelling part of it rather than, I guess, the acting, the visuals? Do you feel like that, and also would you want to see season 2?
No.
I do want to see season 2. No. I do.
Pass? You don't even think they told the story of book 1 well?
I can't. No, I don't think so at all. I feel like a lot of it was rushed. A lot of important moments were taken away. And that's another thing that I had a gripe with season 1 is, like, you're going to show us, like, the attack on the Southern Air Temple, but not make room for, like, other things that you clearly cut out of in other episodes. What are we doing?
Yeah, I was a little confused, actually. Even though I thought the scene was dope in regards to, like, the fighting. It was great looking, but I was like, I don't... Because it was a lot, first of all. It was... Yeah. I was like, y'all are kicking these motherfuckers' asses, boy. Like, y'all are ODing. But I was like, did they show this? Because I haven't watched Avatar since, like,
they never did.
The pandemic.
I did think that was interesting that they decided to start out, like, way ahead and showing more of Aang before, he, like, was trapped in ice. So I was like, okay, this is interesting. I didn't like the beginning, with the whole, like, we gotta warn, the Earth Kingdom about all this stuff. Like, I was like,
yeah. I didn't like either.
I didn't like that, but I thought it was cool to see more of, like, the Southern Air Temple. I thought that was, like, a good rendition, something different.
I think it was good to add
flashbacks.
It would have just, if anything, it would have just been rearranged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's whether or not you want to put it. Just not everybody has the same patience as people who watch animated stuff. I just think about the attention span of most people now. So you really kind of have to really lay things out so people can be like, okay, I understand what's going on. Some people just can't handle waiting till episode 3 to figure out what's going on in the series.
That's fair.
I do. Okay, so a few things.
I only saw one episode, though.
Yeah, no, I think across everything, they did a fantastic job establishing Zuko, Iroh, and, like, his crew. I think the backstory telling on that was phenomenal. They actually make you give a fuck about.
So basically,
like,
the Fire Nation.
That moment got me.
So the Fire Nation, just like the M. Night Shyamalan part, was the best part of the series.
No, for sure.
I think so. They
Zuko,
did a really
Fire
good
Lord Ozai killed it.
Yeah.
Zuko killed it. Oh, Azula, not giving Azula. That girl cares way. I know Azula always cared about what her father thought of her, but this girl cares way too much about what her father thinks of her. I need a little more unhinged energy.
Yeah.
This Azula is giving just, like, daddy issues.
I mean, she was 14, that's kind of how it started. But I also think it's a little weird that they, like, this Ozai still cared about Zuko a bit. Because they were like, oh, Zuko has to take his right, even after he was banished. Which, like, he's supposed to be, like, Low key. Okay, so little spoilers for you guys who finished the Avatar series but didn't read any of the following books. Zuko, he finds out later that his father has like a deep resentment towards him because of his mother that has gone missing. And did you guys read any of the books afterwards?
No.
So you find out what happens to Zuko's mother in one of the books.
He sent her away, right?
He sent her away, yes. But then you also find out reasons why. So like you find out little things like, one, it was an arranged marriage, and that's why they got married. So they never loved each other. And two, she went to go. She was basically stolen away as well, you know. And three, like he doesn't even know if Zuko's his kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I knew this.
So yeah, so because his mom
Scandal.
had an actual love that she was taken from, and so you later on realize she goes back to that love. So
That's so romantic.
They
They should make a side story about that. Do it.
it's actually
it.
I totally recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, people always begging for those to get animated.
I totally recommend everyone to go read the stories. They're fantastic. I
Yeah.
think there's like 3 books to it, and it's great. They're graphic novels, so
Yeah.
you can literally just
You
read
even
them.
found out that Zuko was fighting for his life when he became the Fire Lord. He was over here like, this shit is stressful, boy.
Mhm.
This shit
He had his
whack.
uncle with him.
Yeah. So I think that's one thing. So you don't get that like low key I hate Zuko this whole time, like because he always has that like, is he even my kid? I don't really fuck with them. Like you know, like he's always putting Zuko to the tip, but this one he's like using Zula, you know, like, oh yeah, your brother, you know, he's doing great.
Yeah.
You know,
What did you think about Azula's performance? The girl who did her.
she was okay. I agree that she's not fully, she's still giving daddy issues, but like it's hard because we never got that backstory to Azula originally. You know, we kind of saw her when she was already established, like, I'm a bad bitch, I'm showing up, you know, we didn't have to see that build up. So I thought it was an interesting way to show.
I hope we see that in season 2 because again, Azula is one of my favorite
So
characters.
you do want to see season 2.
I'll watch some clips.
He'll watch it.
He'll watch
He'll
it.
watch it.
I'll watch it.
Are you sure? It sounds like it's maybe a 6 to you, man.
It's a 5, maybe.
Sounds like it may be a 6
on its best day, but I'm standing
because it's really
strong.
hard to get influenced by the hate around you to like hate.
5.5.
Okay, but
5.5.
issue I do have is that like they did in a couple episodes try to squish too much at once. So there's one episode,
Like 2 episodes.
yes,
Because
there's
back
like
to back, right?
yeah.
Is it the Ko, the face
It's
stealer
the
thing?
yeah. Okay, so there's
Bro.
a couple episodes. You remember Ko, the face stealer, and then you remember the panda spirit that like takes people into the forest.
Yeah.
So they mixed all of those episodes together into 2 episodes.
Pretty much they go to the panda spirit
I
thing.
feel like that was like 6 something episodes.
It was
like,
it was a lot.
Literally in
wow.
one episode they go to the spirit world to commune with the panda spirit, and for some reason Sokka and Katara go with Aang to the spirit world.
Yeah,
That's not explained.
yeah.
Then while they're in the spirit world, Ko the face stealer comes, takes Sokka and Katara away. And then Aang's like, oh my god, what do I do?
Yeah.
Has a run-in with Ko. Ko's talking heavy to him, like, oh, look who it is. Yeah, you here to give me back what's mine? Because apparently Avatar Roku took something from him. So then Aang meets Monkey Yatsu and gives him some advice. And now all of a sudden Aang's going to that fire temple that's on that crescent island.
Mhm.
So he can talk to Fire Lord Roku.
So it's the whole blue spirit thing takes him away. So like they like
Oh,
mixed
and that
all at
too.
once. So I thought the blue
That's
spirit
a lot
was
of. I'm like, this is even. Oh, I'm like, this is so much.
That's what I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, they mixed up so many stories all together at once. I think that was
But we had to see
rough.
the Fire Nation attack the air temple. I
don't mind because I'm like that was cool. It gave context, but like something like this, like that was too many stories at once. Plus, they didn't give background to like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's-
face stealer, don't show emotion.
Yeah, at that point, it's almost like not seeing it once again. Just cut it,
But
right? Instead of jamming it in, just cut it.
But
Maybe.
they did look cool as hell.
Ko?
Like both Ko
Yeah.
and the panda one when he's not in panda
Yeah.
form, he
Yo,
looked cool.
If
as
Ko
shit.
pulled up on me, I'd shit bricks. That guy was creepy.
he was done super well.
Yeah.
And like the other panda spirit in like fighting form, he looked like Venom. Like he
Yeah.
looked sick as hell.
He
I
did.
was like, oh, that's dope.
You know who was funny? Avatar Roku.
He was funny.
He was funny.
Yeah.
Kiyoshi? Bitch.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Even Roku says it.
Yo.
She's all business.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that though.
That girl's
Exactly.
Yoshi always stand on business.
Yeah.
that girl's hands are rated E for everybody.
Truly.
She's ready to throw down. Avatar Kuruk though? which for some reason we see when they go to the Northern Waters. He's like very much involved.
I feel like he was never really.
He wasn't. We never.
I
didn't even know his name.
Even when they said it, I was like, I remember because of first episode. Even when they said it, I was like, who is that? I saw the bear head on him. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah. He looked like a white Italian man that I would pull off the freaking sidewalk, and he had too much to talk about.
bending. Nah. Sorry.
Like, I don't know. That was just me.
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
Princess Yue's wig.
That was the
bid. Girl, return it. Because it's not giving.
That's the first thing Ron said to me. He was like, "Oh, her wig." I was like, "Oh."
Master Paku, Katara's master. I needed a little bit more sass from him.
He wasn't bad.
Also, he didn't recognize the fucking necklace he made.
That's why
for his girl, Katara's grandma. He saw it. He didn't say shit.
They didn't have they didn't have that connection of like, oh my god, I actually, made, stuff for your grandma.
I'm a feminist now.
Yeah.
No.
But that war though, when they get to the Northern Air Temple, Northern Water Tribe.
Yeah.
That was insane. That was done super well. The effects, gorgeous.
All right. I mean, I'm still gonna finish. I'm gonna try to finish it. But I only had time for one episode. So
enjoy the journey. I mean, listen, 5.5. I'm not gonna say it's below average.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say it's not memorable.
If you're leaning towards a 7, you're leaning towards a 5.5. I can see myself leaning towards a 6, 7.
Nah, but the season finale when Aang goes apeshit into a kaiju, you're not gonna tell me that was such a cool scene.
Sure.
He goes.
The hate.
He's ridiculous. No, he goes Godzilla in water, and that. Oh, I was like, oh, they ate that. They ate that 1,000%. Sat there and was like, nah, this.
The scene that impressed me more was when Aang and Zuko were fighting their way out of the prison. That was
very cool.
That was cool. The blue spirit thing, that was well done. It was handled. It was quick. You know who actually did a good job? Admiral Zhao.
He was good.
The mutton chops guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the fire nation dude.
Yeah.
Right?
He did a really good job.
Because he was getting bullied the whole time, right?
Who was?
Zuko, right?
No, Zuko was.
Zuko was getting bullied.
Yeah. Because he's the one who wants to compete to get the Avatar first, and he's
I'm thinking about one of Zuko's henchmen.
No.
G. Yeah, General G.
Sorry.
Yo, when you find out the backstory.
When you find out that I thought was so cool, the way that they tied in the backstory.
I teared up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that got me.
That
got me.
Yeah.
You teared up a little bit for that, but I can't tear up for Undead Unlock. Hurt you.
What did you tear up about in Undead Unlock?
The woman died. Let's not get.
Anyways,
that's that doesn't matter. But yeah, that blue spirit thing was done really well. Admiral Zhao. The only thing I didn't like about it is that Admiral Zhao and Zuko didn't have their Agni Kai.
Yeah.
They didn't have their Agni Kai. And I needed to see Zuko pimp smack that guy.
Oh my god. I forgot about that, honestly.
Damn.
I didn't.
Love an Agni Kai. Those are good fights usually.
The one thing I thought was very weird and different was Yue being a fox spirit.
I could let that go.
I
could let that go.
Oh, it was odd. I was just wondering if they were going to. They didn't show the fish for the longest time, so I thought the koi fish, the spirits. I was like, are they about to skip this and change it completely? Because that would make no sense. But no, they did. Okay. They did bring it up. It had me worried.
I did think that the love romance between Yue and Sokka was a little forced and a little out of left field.
They probably was like, she about to die.
Sokka literally asked her, so that other guy, is he your boyfriend? Because you guys were arranged to marry. And she's like, he wasn't the man of my dreams. And then they make out. It literally, in the span of 3 minutes, he asked her one question.
It's that chin, boy.
Ugh. Oh my god.
And then Suki, they did her wrong, I think.
I don't think they did her wrong. She was
They made her a weirdo.
No.
She's literally staring at this man awkwardly.
And she's excited for a cute guy.
But Suki wasn't there. I didn't feel that much.
But you know what? It's not her fault. The thing is,
she had no riz.
No, the problem is that Sokka didn't fight. He was supposed to have attitude oh yeah, it's because you're a girl, and so she was supposed to be oh, you about to take these hands by a girl, and since
she
he wasn't
ogled him the whole time instead of
so she was
no friction.
He stood outside the dojo and was like, oh.
And he was like, oh, okay, maybe I should learn from... there was no tension because, she was beating his ass.
It's just kind of just she just chose him,
She was
I'ma
like,
like
you
this
know,
dude.
like, oh, cute guy. Like,
He didn't dress up either. He didn't dress up like a Kyoshi warrior.
I know. I was like, are we about to see him?
Mhm.
No, he just learned, but he didn't.
These are the L's you gotta take though, man. Even as the One Piece live action, you know, there was some things we had to just be like, where was the dog for this whole arc? Like there was little things.
The dog? The dog was
Some-
houseburned.
Yeah. People
What?
were someone from One Piece. Like there's sometimes there were things that people like. I'm thinking about both adaptations. I'm
Yo,
just trying to take it as the same
right.
thing. Like even though you weren't a One Piece fan, you didn't know what was missing,
Mhm.
so it still felt coherent
Yeah.
to you. Where like as One Piece fans, while watching it, which sounds like the same thing you're doing as Avatar fans,
Mhm.
we were like this detail, this detail, this detail.
yeah.
What
But
was
like,
this?
bro, that dog. That's an example. Like the dog thing and One Piece.
People
like,
was
no one.
no, there were people who were annoyed about this,
Bro.
or they was annoyed about the sequence of like Arlong Park and all that stuff. Like there was things to
There's
nitpick.
always things.
There's
Yeah.
things to
But there
say.
are things that matter, and then there are things that.
Yes,
don't.
there were things that didn't matter, but like I guess I will have to find out exactly how this was played out in Avatar to see
I
if they
think
matter enough.
I think that Suki Saka was done well. I think it was done well. Like I was like, okay, but and then compared to Yue Saka, like that was definitely a little rushed, and also they didn't make him a homewrecker. You know how like
Yeah.
yes, how she's supposed to be engaged, but then she falls in love with Sokka, and then everything happens. No, in this one, she's already like, oh no, I broke off the engagement with the guy already. I just didn't like him like that. You know, he wasn't like guy in my dreams. That's what Danny said. And so I was like, there's not that sexual tension of like, we can't do this. You know, so it was, I don't know, so it was a little rushed there, but.
Well, all that to say, make sure you guys watch it if you want to have an opinion about it.
We want to hear yours.
Yeah, you have to watch things fully before you gather an opinion. It's one thing you cannot
Yeah.
say. You can't call something trash if you ain't watch it or been through it. So I'm going to
listen
go
to
through
me.
it, and I'll give you guys my rating, and we'll see how it goes after
I'm
that.
looking
Yeah.
forward to.
Yeah, I
to
want to
seeing
hear
it.
your
Yeah.
opinion.